Shabbat Shalom. It is that time of the week, the time of rest. Rest. That is what this time is for. Rest and to immerse yourself in the Word. In my studies, that's basically what I've discovered about the Sabbath, or Shabbat, as it is commonly known. Well, maybe more uncommonly known. But anyway, yeah, to immerse yourself in the Word, to reconnect with your Creator. Yeah, that's what I think it's for. So if you're feeling disconnected, if you're not hearing the voice like you should be, then yeah, this is that day. Now, I'm not saying this is the only day. I'm just saying this is the day where you should rest and try to reconnect and try to hold on to that connection throughout your week, because it's so easy for that connection to just be broken or be lost or forgotten. Anyway, starting where I typically do, Deuteronomy 6 verse 4, the Shema. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our Elohim, Yahweh is one, and you shall love Yahweh your Elohim with all of your heart, with all of your being, and with all of your might. Yeah. Reconnect. Alright, so we left off at Genesis 36, Bereshit. That's how it's actually pronounced in Hebrew, I suppose. And yeah, skimming over 36 just a little bit here. This is a lot of genealogy. So this is going to be a chapter of me butchering a lot of Hebrew names. That is always fun. I do not look forward to these chapters. I don't. I look forward to the end of them, not the beginning. And yeah, I'm procrastinating already. Let's drink some coffee. We're going to need coffee for this one for sure. So yeah, just skimming over, there's a whole chapter of 2 chapters of names. 2 chapters of names that I will get wrong. But that's okay. That's okay. Not everybody can get everything right, especially me. Alright. Ugh. I don't like the names. I don't. It's difficult for me. I'm bad with American names, English names. I'm especially bad with Hebrew names. Alright, here we go. Genesis 36, verse 1. And this is the genealogy of Esau, who is Edom. Esau took wives from the daughters of Canaan. Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Oholibamah, I guess, the daughter of Anah, and the daughter of Tibon, whatever, the Hivite, and Basemath. That's how it's spelled, Basemath. Basemath. Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebaioth, I guess. And Adah bore Elpez to Esau, and Basemath bore Ruel. And Oholibamah, bore Yeshu and Yalam and Korah. And these were the sons of Esau, who bore to him in the land of Canaan. And Esau took wives, and his sons and daughters, all of the beings of his household, and his herds, and all of the beasts, and all of the possessions, wow, I can't read this morning, which he had gained in the land of Canaan, and went to the land away from the presence of his brother Jacob. For their possessions were too great for them to dwell together, and the land of their sojournings could not support them because of their herds. So Esau dwelt in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. And this is the genealogy of Esau, the father of the Edomites, in Mount Seir. These were the names of Esau's sons: Elpaz, son of Adia, wife of Esau, and Ruel, son of Basemath, wife of Esau. And the sons of Elpaz were Teman, Omar, Tespo, and Gatam, and Quinaz. And Tinma was the concubine of Elpaz, Esau's son, and she bore Alamech to Elpaz, I don't know, close enough. These were the sons of Adia, Esau's wife. These were the sons of Ruah, Natha, and Zerah, and Shammah, and Mizah. These were the sons of Basemath, Esau's wife. And these were the sons of Oholibamah, I guess, Esau's wife, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Tibzan. She bore Esau Yesha, and Yalam, and Korah. These were the chiefs of the sons of Esau. The sons of Elpaz, the firstborn son of Esau, were Chief Teman, Chief Omar, Chief Tespo, Chief Quinaz, Chief Korah, Chief Gatam, Chief Amalek. These were the chiefs of Elpaz in the land of Edom. They were the sons of Adia. And these were the sons of Ruel, Esau's son, Chief Nahath, Chief Zephyrah, Chief Sheman, Chief Mizah. These were the chiefs of Ruel, in the land of Edom. These were the sons of Basemath, Esau's wife. And these were the sons of Oholibamah, Esau's wife. Chief Yesha, I don't know. Chief Yalam, Chief Korah. These were the chiefs descending from the Oholibamah dude. Esau's wife, daughter of, I guess it was not a dude, wife, daughter of Anah. These were the sons of Esau, who is Edom, and these were their chiefs. These were their sons of Seir, the Horite, who inhabited the land of Lotan and Shobal, and Tibon, and Anah, and Dishan, and Etzer, and Disham. These were the chiefs of the Horites. That's how it's spelled. The sons of Seir in the land of Edom. And the sons of Lotan were Hori and Hemam. Lotan's sister was Timnah. And these were the sons of Shabal, Alwan, and Manahath, and Abal, Sheppo, and Omen, Onem. These were the sons of Tibon, whatever. Board Allah, Ayah, I don't know, something like that. And Anna, these were the Anna. This was the Anna who found the water in the wilderness as he fled the donkeys of his father. Tibon, and these were the children of Anna's, Dishan, and Oholibamah, the daughter of Anna. And these were the sons of Dishan, Hemdam, and Ishban, and Yithran, and Kiron. These were the sons of Etzer, Bilhan, and Zalawan, and Aquan. These were the sons of Dishan, Uts, I guess it's Uts, and Aran. These were the chiefs of the Horites: Chief Lotan, Chief Shabal, Chief Tisabun, Chief Anah, Chief Dishon, Chief Etzer, and Chief Dishan. These were the chiefs of the Horites, according to their chiefs in the land of Seir. And these were the sovereigns who reigned in the land of Edom, before any sovereign reigned over the children of Israel. And Bela, son of Beor, reigned in Edom, and the name of his city was Dinhabah. And Bela died, and Joab, son of Zerah, and Botsron reigned in his place. And Joab died, and Husham of the land of the Timorites reigned in his place. And Husham died, and Hadad, son of Bedad, who struck Midian in the field of Moab, reigned in his place. And the name of his city was Awith. And Hadad died. And Shemlah of Mascarai reigned in his place. And Shamlah died. And Shaul of Rehoboth by the river reigned in his place. There's a lot of reigning going on. And Shaul died. And Baal Hanan, son of Akbor, reigned in his place. And Baal Hanan, son of Akbor, died. And Hadar reigned in his place. And the name of the city was Pau. And his wife's name was Mehetabel, and the daughter of Metred, the daughter of Mezahab. And these were the names of the chiefs of Esau, according to their clans, their place by their names: Chief Timnah, Chief Alwa, Chief Yetieth, Chief Oholibama, Chief Elah, Chief Penon, Chief Quinez, Chief Timon, Chief Mibtabsar, I don't know, Chief Magdael, Chief Iram. These were the chiefs of Edom, according to their dwelling places in the land of their possessions. Esau was the father of the Edomites. Thank you, Father, for being done with chapter 36. Thank you. Thank you. This isn't getting any better, because I got to do this again in chapter 37. We need some coffee, though. There's a reason why the Greeks translated names to, like, Jesus. Just saying. Yeah. Alright, chapter 37. Here we go. And Jacob dwelt in the land of his father's sojournings, in the land of Canaan. And this is the genealogy of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brothers. And the young man was with the sons of Bilhah, and the sons of Zeplah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought an evil report to them, to his father. And Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age. And he made him a long robe. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all of his brothers, they hated him, and were not able to speak peaceably to him. Okay, this isn't genealogy. I was just skimming through. And yeah, I know this story very well. The story of my favorite prepper. Anyway, verse 5. And Joseph dreamed a dream and told it to his brothers, so they hated him even more. And he said to them, "Please listen to this dream which I have dreamed. See, we were binding sheaves in the midst of the field. And see, my sheaf rose up and stood up. And see, your sheaves stood up all around and bowed down to my sheaf." And his brother said to him, "Shall you indeed reign over us? Shall you indeed rule over us?" So they hated him even more for his dreams, for his words. And he dreamed still another dream, and related it to his brothers, and said, See, I have dreamed another dream. And see, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars bowed down to me. And he related it to his father and his brothers. And his father rebuked him, and said to him, What is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall we, your mother and I, and your brothers, indeed come to bow down to the earth before you? And his brothers envied him, but his father guarded the word. And his brothers went to feed their father's flocks in Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, Are not your brothers feeding the flocks in Shechem? Come, I send you to them. So he said to him, Here I am. And he said to him, Please go and see if it is well with your brothers, and well with the sheep, and bring back word to me. So he sent him out of the valley of Hebron, and he went to Shechem. And a certain man found him, and see, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, What do you seek? A certain man found him. Odd. And he said, I am seeking my brothers. Please inform me where they are feeding their sheep. And the man said, They have left here, for I heard them say, Let's go toward Dothan. So Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dothan. And they saw him from a distance, and before he came near them, they plotted against him to kill him. Brothers. And they said to each other, See, this is the master of dreams is coming. See, this master of dreams is coming. Now then, come and let us now kill him, and throw him into some pit, and shall say, Some wild beast has devoured him. Let us then see what comes of his dreams. And Reuben heard and rescued him from their hands, and said, Let us not strike his being. And Reuben said to them, Shed no blood, throw him into this pit which is in the wilderness, and do not lay a hand on him, in order to rescue him out of their hands, and bring him back to his father. So it came to be, when Joseph had come to his brothers, that they stripped Joseph of his robe, the long robe which was on him. And they took him and threw him into a pit, and the pit was empty, and there was no water in it. And they sat down to eat a meal, and they lifted their eyes and looked, and saw a company of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead, with their camels bearing spices and balm and mirth, going to take them down to Mitzrayim, also known as Egypt. And Yehudah said to his brothers, What would we gain if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother, our flesh. And his brothers listened. Such nice guys, aren't they? Come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother, our flesh. And his brothers listened. Yeah, I just said that, didn't I? And the men, Midianites, traders, passed by. So they pulled Joseph up and lifted him out of the pit, and sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. And they took Joseph to Mitzrayim. And Reuben returned to the pit, and see, Joseph was not in the pit. And he tore his garments. And he returned to his brothers, and said, The boy is gone. And I, where am I to go? So they took Joseph's robe, slew a male goat, and dipped the robe in its blood, and sent a long robe, and brought it to their father, and said, We have found this. Please look. It is the robe of your son, is it not? And he recognized it, and said, It is my son's robe. An evil beast has devoured him. Joseph is torn to pieces. And Jacob tore his garments, and put sackcloth on his waist, and mourned for his son for many days. And all of his sons and all of his daughters arose to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. And he said, Now let me go down to Sheol, to my son, in mourning. So his father wept for him, and the Midianites had sold him in Mitzrayim to Potiphar, an officer in Pharaoh, officer of Pharaoh, the captain of the guard. One day I'll learn to read. Coffee. I really do enjoy the story of Joseph. He wasn't the first prepper in the book, but he is, I guess, one of the better preppers in the book, if you know the story. But anyway, we will get there. I'm going to go ahead and continue with chapter 38 just because I feel like it, even though I'm not reading too well on this particular one. But yeah, I'm going to anyway. So, Genesis 38. And at that time it came to be that Yehudah left his brothers and turned aside to a man, an Alamite, whose name was Harah. And Yehudah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite whose name was Shawah, and he took her and went into her. So she conceived and bore a son, and called his name E-R, it's And she conceived again and bore a son, and she called his name Onan. And she conceived yet again and bore a son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Kezbah when she bore him. And Yehudah took a wife for his firstborn, and her name was Tamar. But Yehudah's firstborn, was evil in the eyes of Yahweh, and Yahweh took his life. Let's just pause there for a second. Just 1 second. The father is not a pacifist. Proof. Okay. Verse 8. And Yehudah said to Onan, Go in to your brother's wife and marry her, and raise up an heir to your brother. These people had strange customs. And Onan knew that the offspring would not be his, and it came to be when he went into his brother's wife that he spilled on the ground, lest he should give an offspring to his brother. But what he did displeased Yahweh, so he took his life too. Let that be a lesson to lots of people. He spilled on the floor, displeased the father, and died. Then Yehudah said to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, Remain a widow in your father's house until my son Shelah is grown. For he said, Lest he also dies as his brothers did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. And after a long time the daughter of Shua, Yehudah's wife, died. And Yehudah was comforted, and went up to his sheep shearers at Timnah. And his friend Harah, the Aldumite, was reported to Tamar, saying, See, your father-in-law is going up to Timnah to shear his sheep. And she took off her widow's garments, and covered herself with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat at the entrance to Enaim, which was in the way to Timnah, for she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given to him as a wife. And Yehudah saw her, and reckoned for her a whore, for she had covered her face. And he turned aside to her by the way, and said, Please let me come in to you. For he did not know that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, What do you give me to come into me? And he said, Let me send you a young goat from the flock. And she said, Do you give me a pledge until you send it? So he said, What pledge should I give you? And she said, Your seal and your cord, and your staff that is in your hand. She's expensive. And he gave them to her, and went into her, and she conceived by him. And she arose and went away, and removed her veil, and put on the garments of her widowhood. And Yehudah sent a young goat by the hand of his friend the Aldumite to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, but he did not find her. And she asked the men of that place, saying, Where is the cult prostitute who was beside the way to Enemy? And they said, There was no cult prostitute in this place. And he returned to Yehuda and said, I have not found her. And the men of the place also said, There was no cult prostitute in this place. And Yehuda said, Let her take them for herself, lest we become despised. For I sent this young goat, and you have not found her. And it came to be about 3 new moons after that Yehuda was informed, saying, Tamar, your daughter-in-law, has whored, and see, she has conceived by whoring. And Yehuda said, Bring her out, and let her be burned. When she was brought out, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, By the man whom these belong, I am pregnant. And she said, Please examine whose these are, the seal, and the cord, and the staff. And Yehuda examined and said, She has been more righteous than I, because I did not give her to Shelah my son, and he never knew her again. And it came to be at the time for giving birth, that see, twins were in her womb. And it came to be, when she was giving birth, that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took a scarlet thread and bound it on his hand, saying, This one came out first. And it came to be, as he drew back his hand, see that his brother came out. And she said, How did you break through? This breach be upon you. So his name was called Peretz. And afterward his brother came out, who had the scarlet thread on his hand. So his name was called Zereth. Alright, I'm going to stop there. My reading is definitely not up to par today. But that is some interesting stories there. Just the traditions, customs, and things that would be frowned upon this day that occurred regularly throughout the beginnings of the book. And the way they took wives sounds rather reminiscent to what we would believe to be cavemen, wouldn't it? But according to this book, there were no such thing as cavemen. Yeah. I find it very interesting how science tries to claim evolution when there's nothing about it in that book. And there's really no proof of it. There's really none. I see it as a false religion. And they try to throw things like other species of human-type species on our planet, Neanderthals and things like that. But when you run scientific computer simulations on a human that's 900 years old, they look just like a Neanderthal. So, yeah, just saying. Anyway, I'm not going to go into too much of my beliefs. This is just me trying to read, and yeah, not doing too great of a job in my opinion. But I hope everyone has a very restful Shabbat. I hope that you are able to reconnect if you have not done so. Strengthen your connection if you still have one. I have been feeling somewhat disconnected the last several days, to be honest with you. So I have the intention to remedy that. And that is what I'm off to do. So thank you for listening to my attempts of reading names, which is just a tragedy. It really is. And I will see you guys the next time. Have a very blessed day.